Bam! We are live on Choochcast. Here we go, coming to you live from the home office in Magalia, California this time, man. You are listening to Choochcast. I got a hell of a show for you today. One that I'm proud of and one that we are going to go high and low into what Mr. Sam Pasco is up to today. But before we get to him, I want to say happy Memorial Day weekend to you. All right. And to all, this is what the weekend is about. It's not about the veterans per se. It's for the women and the men who did not come back, who made the ultimate sacrifice. And myself being a veteran, I must say I honor them most definitely this weekend. Happy Memorial Day to you. Sam, what does Memorial Day mean to you, my friend?
Well, normally it means the beginning of summer and a little 3-day weekend, but yes. Now it just means, like you said, honoring those who served and just trying to have some sort of a little fun, I guess. You know,
yeah,
I can't go to a state park or anything, but
semblance of life.
You can. Yeah.
Semblance of life. All right, man. Well, very nice, man. All right. Hey, I want to get going and talk about, you know what, man? I mean, you got such a story so far, and you're just getting started, man. And you're just getting started, and that's what I love about it, man. And so, you know, I want to ask you a couple questions, okay? About, you know, tell me about your roots, man. Tell me about. I know how you got started, of course, okay? I know how you got interested, but tell me a little bit about you. Tell me about Sam. Tell me about what Sam doing now as compared to a couple years later when he waltzed into KXSF 102.5 for the first time.
Yeah, wow. Well, I mean, going back, I guess kind of in middle school, I kind of always had a passion for public speaking, kind of performing, not quite acting in like a theater performance per se. I've kind of liked more of like acting in terms of like in front of a camera where you could take multiple takes and you kind of get different perspective instead of the live on stage performance. But no, I was part of theater for a little bit at Town School for Boys. That was my middle school. And I ran for student government multiple years in a row, won like 3 years in a row from like 5th to 7th grade, and just kind of enjoying it, serving the people, giving speeches, making announcements, getting the name out there,
shaking hands, kissing babies, man.
All that good stuff. That good stuff.
Yes.
I knew I kind of wanted to go in that direction and kind of continue in that some way. I didn't know exactly how, and going into high school, I kind of wanted to find that and kind of perfect that, because I felt like, you know, I had an opportunity now with a little free time outside sports to really pursue something I really wanted to do. And I knew it would be something in this kind of broadcast acting media world. Didn't know exactly what. And it's when I stumbled upon your very own Choochcast at USF basketball game. There's been rumblings of your radio show in the past.
Oh,
and then I got the card, we communicated, and then I was the guest on your show. And that was the beginning of my KXSF connection.
Yes. That's awesome, man. Yeah, you know, that's where I started as well, man. KXSF Community Radio. It was SFCR when I started, San Francisco Community Radio. Okay, and they have done really well. They're on the air, low power, of course, in the Bay or in San Francisco, 102.5 there. But, you know, I mean, they gave me an opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. They gave me an opportunity. And the first sports show on KXSF, and I loved it, man. You know, I've always wanted to. I always love listening to broadcast, baseball broadcast, football broadcast. I almost like listening to broadcast more than I do actually watching the game. So I fell in love with that, got the opportunity there, man. And then, you know, me and you through baseball, you know, I got to know you, and I said, man, this guy's pretty, he's got his stuff together, man. He knows what he's doing. He's good on the diamond. He's a good head on him. And I said, well, you know, hey, man, if you're interested, why don't you come on in? I'd love to talk to you about, at the time, youth sports, right? We were talking about youth sports and what you're going through at that time. And, man, I got to tell you, you took like a duck to water, my friend. And I just saw him, and I'm like, man, this guy knows what he's up to. But not only that, he's smooth on there. We had, you know, and as I'm watching you progress, you know, it's awesome to smooth those things out, and you're becoming more and more a mainstay. I mean, tell me what you are up to now. First of all, you did get a show on KXSF, and you still have a show on KXSF. But what have you done since then? I know, but why don't you tell the listeners?
Well, first, I do gotta say thank you for getting me on that first show, getting me on my path at KXSF. It's been great, and that's kind of been my craft, perfecting that from that first time, sitting in that chair there with the mic, going back and forth, opining on the entire world of youth sports and sports. I remember that was the big word back then. So no, then. I've had my show since then on KXSF. I got to record it actually for Tuesday, 3 to 4, KXSF.FM.
There you go.
Bam. But now I've kind of been turning my attentions to overseas baseball. There's no live sports right now.
No kidding.
Pretty much, it's been like two worlds basically, from pre-COVID and now under COVID, like for everyone else. But for sports coverage, I was doing the Warriors, doing the Giants beat circuit. I was on that, all the pro teams here in the Bay Area.
Hold on a second. How did you get yourself into that? Because I was working at KXSF, volunteering, of course, all right, and going to games and everything. But then all of a sudden, man, I see, after I took off and did some international things, I see Sam Pasco, right, KXSF Sports, and I see you in the dugout with the Giants, okay? And I go, whoa, yes, dude. Tell me how that came about, and what did you do to put yourself in that situation?
So, I guess going chronologically before we talk about today's stuff, but there's really so much to talk about.
I know.
So I get the show at KXSF. I enjoy that. It's more of a variety show. And then basically the beginning of 2019, from December, basically the end of December, beginning of January 2018 to like March is where that kind of sports media really took off. So December 2018, I and a friend of mine, Teddy, we start Don's Insiders, and that's a college basketball focused show. Him and I talk about the Dons, WCC, up there on the hilltop. They got Gonzaga, St. Mary's, that same conference. So we cover them. We get media credentials for the Dons through our account, and we just start covering them. We have a little media booth, so I enjoy that. And then I end up going to spring training just because that's just a fun family trip we like to do.
Definitely.
And that was during the same time that the AAF had begun, had started. So I think that was April that I went. So I think actually just the month before, in March, we went to March Madness as Don's Insiders for KXSF. Down to San Jose, saw some teams, Virginia Tech, one of them, Oregon, saw them play. And then I'm in spring training, and I just kind of have the crazy idea, like, why not, just take a little lottery ticket and try to get a media credential for a spring training game and an AAF game, the Alliance of American Football. I email them, I find the contacts, and just, explain the broadcasting, KXSF, a radio station, and doing some sports coverage. They say yes. I'm on the portal for Major League Baseball. I apply to all the clubs for their spring training games, all the ones in Arizona. Everyone denies the credential except the Dodgers, who are playing the Giants on that day.
What?
So I get a Dodgers credential to go cover the Giants. True story. Camelback Ranch.
Wow.
We share it with the White Sox. I get the credential. I'm covering them. I'm in the Dodgers clubhouse in their locker room because spring training, the starters, they're working out on the backfield, and then they come, make an inning or two appearance, and then they go work out and they go, shower and they go home. So like in the fifth inning, they let the reporters just go into the clubhouse and just talk to the guys. And I didn't really know what I was doing back then. And I was in there talking to Justin Turner, Walker Buehler, Kenley Jansen, just little audio clips talking about, The Bachelor, what they're going to do with Kershaw's injury. It's kind of fun, interesting stuff.
Yeah. How old are you at this time? I was
17.
Okay. All right.
So, is in there. Actually, I don't know if I think they're actually they're not supposed to let anyone under 18 in there. So
anyway,
I was in there super young doing that. And then the next day I covered the Arizona Hotshots against, it was San Antonio. I don't remember the other team's name, but it was the Arizona Hotshots.
Good memory, right? Yeah.
So but I was the home team. I was at ASU's Sun Devil Stadium, I believe.
Sun Devil Stadium, sure.
In there in Tempe. And I talked to the head coach of the Hotshots after the game in the press conference there. AAF, now defunct, rest in peace. But that kind of just started it there. And then I was like, why not try for the Giants? Because I was on the Major League portal. I emailed through. So then I requested for the Giants, and that just kind of began a grind. They don't, for first year people, they don't just give you the media credential. They want to make sure you're legit. So I had to apply for each day's game, the series ahead. So like if they were playing the Brewers right next week, I'd have starting on Monday, I'd have to apply on Saturday or Sunday to make sure I get the credential, go for the 3 days. And it was very fun, but I tell you, some long hours.
Yeah,
you got to get there 3:00 at school would end for me. I'd head down to the Oracle Park, and you get the pregame Bochy, you get the other manager, and then you talk to the other players, watch batting practice. By the time game starts, you've already been there for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
You watch the game, go post-game press conference, get some more quotes. And then I was just mixing it up, podcast, little article, clips for the show. So doing all that, and that's where a couple days into that, I was like, I need to make a specific KXSF kind of portal media channel for people to find all this coverage. So that's where KXSF Sports came from, a special kind of channel just for KXSF Sports, all the media ventures. So all the posts would go right on there. Because for that time, up until then, it was just a part of my show, Pasco's Perspective, just kind of the sports angle of that. So now we're going into KXSF Sports, and one memorable moment actually is from the beginning of that was I actually skipped playoff baseball game, my own. And I went to go to
high school game.
My own high school game. I skipped it to go to the Giants game. And that day I ended up talking to Farhan Zaidi on the field. And that was in my first interviews. Just like 2 minutes, real quick, talking about like fantasy football, bullpen car. Has he tried any of the new foods now that he's the general manager? And I was just pretty cool. And I put that up on there.
That's up there. That was
the beginning of KXSF Sports.
You know what strikes me, man, is your creativity, right? Okay, you're very extremely creative, man. Check out his social media channels, folks. I mean, he's all over the place, man. He's on it. He can do it like he's quick, he's creative, he's thoughtful, and it's really interesting stuff. Second of all, man, is the go-getness, man. I mean, you went out and got it, Sam. I mean, you went out and got it. I mean, you said, you know what? I'm going to apply for a media credential. Why not? And I think that's a great lesson in life, dude, for a lot of people, including myself. I do that myself, but it's good to hear because it keeps it fresh in my mind. That guy, why not? The best 2 words in, I think, the English language. Like, why not me? Why not, dude?
Exactly. Yeah. So I just go for it.
Just go for it. I mean, all they can say is what? No. Mm-hmm. And you've been torn down before. And then the Dodgers were the only team.
That was the only one I've ever seen. Now, like, who's going to be like the one random team that's going to accept me? It's like, the Dodgers, and of course they're playing the Giants.
Yes, and they're playing the Giants. You're like, all right, you know what? Hey, whatever I have to do to get my foot in the door, man, right? Whatever I do. So I want to talk to you real quick about your Giants experience, okay? And we don't have to go through the whole thing, of course, man. What fantastic. I've seen you on the field down there, man. You carry yourself well. It's excellent seeing you interact. Do you have a favorite interview, a favorite player, man, that's like really cool on the Giants that maybe we haven't thought of, man?
Yeah, well, I'll give you 2, one on the Giants and one as a visiting player. So on the Giants, I actually connected with Logan Webb through Twitter, one of the young aces kind of growing in the rotation. And I contacted him just through Twitter, set up a time, just a phone interview. And then the next day the next day we're on the road, then the next time they're back home, I waited for him to be done with BP. He was just shagging fly balls. I introduced myself and I was just like, hey, I interviewed, I talked to you, so, and then I just see him around the clubhouse, just give him a little, hi, acknowledgement, just kind of, what's up? What's going on? So that was really cool. It was a good interview with him talking about being drafted out of high school and his experience kind of working his way up through the minors in the Giants farm system. Mm-hmm. And then the second interview, I think this was one later in the season when I started talking to the opposing players, because in the there's not too much media for a Marlins or a Mets game, probably, but other ones.
Rays,
Rays. So there's other series. So I would just outside Giants clubhouse, you get the standard ones, Bell, Longoria, everyone's there because you get the home media, but not as much demand for the Marlins. So I went over there and I talked to Curtis Granderson, MLB legend. And it was like for 5 minutes in the dugout, before game time. And he was a great interview. He spoke well. It was amazing. Yeah. And I feel I was on my A game too, just getting the prep, good questions, good flow. And that was just really exciting. That's probably the staple of my media reel now from that Giants time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just talking to the opposing players, getting them all in. Ended up talking to Nolan Arenado for a little bit, Bud Black. Those that was part of the Rockies.
Former Giant, sure.
Former Giant. And yeah, it was really fun. But Granderson was probably one of my favorites.
The Grandy overall. Man. The Grandy Man is yeah, he's a, I you talking about these guys, and it just makes me miss baseball so much more, dude. I mean, it's just, we're hurting, man. We're all hurting. And, but that's, it just goes to show you, man, that, they're all human, just like us, of course, and, here, Logan Webb's, Curtis Granderson's, dude, is Bochy as like hilarious, like dry hilarious as he comes across? Like, okay, this is Bo, is he that ho-hum, that chill all the time, man?
Pretty much from the little media scrums. Yeah, no, he was there. He laughed at some of my jokes. I made him laugh a couple times.
Oh yes, dude. I wanted to ask you
a couple good jokes there. That I've had articled. It was pretty cool. It was made on KMVR because they do little clips from the scrum, the best quote from the day, and I got a couple of my questions made it on there. Little reporter, in the brackets, and like that was my question. So
you're like, hey, that was me. Yeah,
he's really friendly, really great. I introduced myself to him one day. I told him I want to be an actor. He's like, see you in the movies. So he's super friendly, super personable. Man. I'll tell you one thing though, he's a big guy. He is a huge hat. He is tall, he is big, and he towers over basically everyone there in the dugout. But great manager, great guy.
He's a backup catcher, baby. Strong boy. He's a strong boy. One of my favorites, dude. Backup catchers, I will take as a manager any day of the week, dude. They know what's going on. So right on, man. Right on. So I mean, you got in with the Giants, dude, sitting at the park. You must be going, dude, you got like, look at me, man. What am I doing here?
Awesome. Every day, basically every day. But then now.
But then you start getting in the flow. Okay. And then the Warriors move across the bay, come to San Francisco. And next thing I know, after catching up with you again, after I'm in parts unknown, man, some South American country, something like that, which is highly recommended, by the way. But anyways, all of a sudden I see you're on the Warriors beat, and you're in there and interviewing with the Warriors. How did that come about?
That was pretty crazy because I remember at the beginning of the Giants season, when the Warriors were playing in the playoffs, there were two Oracle Arena and then Park. So in the Chronicles, like, or which Oracle are you talking about for that small overlap time? And Chase Center is literally a scooter ride away from Oracle at AT&T.
Sure. It's always
the AT&T Oracle. So, and I was like, I'm on this now. I kind of got a little street cred now. Why not go for the Warriors? It's new, a lot of demand, but why not try? That's just why not. So I did that, and I kind of just continue with that, just the hard work, the persistence, thoughtful and kind as always, but always taking a good youth angle, community radio, and just putting the time in. Did the media tour at Chase Center.
Put in the KXF moniker, right, and say, because I've seen your microphones in there, man, with the KXSF on there, and I'm like, man, it just does me proud, dude. If I could see that from Chile, dude, I mean, are you kidding me? I'm watching this from South America, and I see KXSF on a freaking mic, dude. And that's our community radio station, dude. And that's just awesome. But you have taken it from there, and gone on to heights, man. That it's just, I think it's fantastic, man. And it seems so natural for you, man. I mean, what do you see yourself doing? I mean, I see the background on your, with your mic. What do you see yourself doing here, man? What do you, going forward?
Yeah, I'm not sure right now with the current circumstances, but I mean, going forward now into Philadelphia, going to UPenn for the next 4 years, looking forward to that. But I mean, with KXSF, I was given an opportunity. I want to make sure I could really use it and really make you guys proud at the station. Really kind of bring the station, because it was very young back when you were there, when we were together at the station. So I just wanted to kind of bring it. It really into the San Francisco media landscape, and that was kind of my way to do that, was through the sports angle and kind of making that a moniker and, people aware of the station. And I think that's been great. And going forward, I mean, I plan to keep the show, Pasco's Perspective, new episode Tuesday, at KXSF. And I mean, I think the sports betting landscape and kind of that sports Especially in Philadelphia where it's legal, and I think it's going to be legal a lot more.
Yes.
I think that's kind of the direction to go into in terms of FanDuel, DraftKings. DraftKings just went public.
Yes,
I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity there, and specifically a kind of a sports show that kind of recaps and previews the game, because we've talked about this before. There's so much going on in media on your phone. I got my phone here, notifications. It's been off the hook. There's so much coming at you, and with baseball especially, there's so many games, so many players, so many details. It's hard to keep up. So I think there's room for like a good video series kind of recapping and previewing each day's game to kind of get you like wherever you're at in the sports world, kind of thinking about different stuff. This is 3 to 5 minutes that get you caught back up in the game. Here's this is the Phillies Mets game. This is what you need to know. This is the pick you should make, and let's have some fun. Let's actually care about this game and watch it, because right now, MLB regular season, not a lot of people are engaged with it as much as it could be. So I think that's the direction. Try to do something there with FanDuel. I know there's a station, Fox PHL, Fox Philly, The Gambler. So they have like a specific sports betting station. So
God, that's so it sounds so taboo to me, because back in the day you couldn't even think about that stuff, man. I mean, and now it's it's proliferated. That's easy for me to say, around everywhere. And I think, like you said, man, I think that we're going to see most every state, especially now when sports come back. Do you think they need revenue? Do you think they need taxes? Do you think they need I would say hell yes they do. So I mean, I saw betting coming up, and obviously you did too, but this is really going to take off. I definitely agree, man, when it comes to that. Tell me about UPenn, man. What's going on, dude? You got accepted to UPenn, okay? And what is your, I mean, like so many people that have just graduated, man. And by the way, congratulations, dude.
Thank you.
I don't know if you had a ceremony. What did you guys do?
We got a Zoom celebration coming up Sunday. Tomorrow. Sunday. Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, so you're not graduated yet?
No, not. I got one. I got 3 more days of virtual class. No, I got to pass some classes still.
Yes, man, you got it. Yes, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, dude. No good. All right. So, anyways, in the future, man, I'm sure I have a good feeling you're going to graduate. So, anyways, that being, we talked about that, but what is the, gosh, I mean, there's so many unknowns now. So what are they telling you going to college from high school? What are they telling you about your physical presence, online learning, anything like that?
They're basically telling us it's uncertain. They sent out an email like 3 days ago saying there's all these different contingency plans, all these different options. So they're thinking about it, but it's really uncertain right now. We're seeing a couple of states open back up, but kind of the university city area within Philadelphia is still uncertain. I think they're considering having people pretty much quarantined in the dorms and pretty much stay there, and have certain small classes be in the classrooms with bigger online lectures.
Okay, so they're
basically online. So yeah, I think I'm gonna plan on actually going. I hope so. I cannot stay here any longer. Trapped here with that.
I bet, dude. I know it's bad for me, but at your age, dude, no way, dude.
I need to get out. I need to get some air. But yes, I do plan on being back there, and I think that's the plan. I don't know what they're gonna have in terms of self-isolation and whatnot, because I hopefully do plan on going into the city for Eagles, Phillies, the Flyers, Sixers games, all the sorts. So I'm looking for a single room now. So that's the no roommate. I do early morning podcast. I have my own space, which is true. I do. So hopefully I get a solo room and I can do that.
There you go.
Freely. That's what I'm thinking.
I'll put in a word with the president. All right.
Yeah.
Solo. Sam likes solo.
Yes.
Right on, man. Excellent. Well, I look forward to you going out there, man, and knocking stuff out. Philly's a great sports town, dude, and congrats on getting into Penn. No small feat, and we'll see what happens on the baseball field as well, man. You got a lot of stuff going, dude. So,
sure do.
Most definitely. But I want to switch gears a little bit, man, and let's finally talk about your background, dude. What got you interested? And I've been watching. I mean, you are, folks, if you haven't seen his interviews with multiple, and I mean multiple KBO players, multiple American KBO players, and now he's doing a show, which I saw the other day, previewing KBO games, previewing runs per game, previewing who he thinks is who's has good offense right now. It's pretty darn fascinating, man. It even makes me want to watch. And I watched a little bit the other day on ESPN, dude.
There we go.
I kind of felt a little bit more familiar after watching your show a little bit. So tell me, what is the interest here? And tell me what you think of Korean baseball as opposed to our baseball here.
Well, so I'll start at the beginning. So March 11th, American sports go down. I was going to be going to that Nets Warriors game with no fans that Thursday, but Gobert had COVID that Wednesday. So all American sports are shut down. And I just, as a media person, I was still planning on, actually, it was going to be ramping up even more. I was planning on that happening more with both Giants and Warriors games. There was about another handful, Warriors and some more Giants. So I was prepping up. I was kind of getting, antsy for some more media work and just kind of coming to my own, kind of a year 2 into it now, especially with the Giants. And that stopped. I was like, I kind of need to go somewhere. I've kind of built some momentum. And it first started with the CPBL. It's a Chinese professional baseball league in Taiwan. That was starting to pick up.
Yeah.
Taiwan was one of the first ones to be cleared to have sports. Yes. They had no fans in stadiums. Now they actually have fans, but like spaced out. So I just kind of think what's kind of the cool, fun, unique thing that for Americans can kind of latch on to, and that's all the former major leaguers that are now overseas over there now. So I just on Twitter, I just said, hey, why not try to put together a little interview series with a couple of these guys? Just reached out through Twitter.
Yes.
Josh Renecki, nephew of now interim manager of the Red Sox, Ron Renecki. So talk to him. Renecki, my bad.
Yep.
Talk to him, talk to Mitch Lively, talk to a lot of those guys, just reaching out through Twitter, connecting. They're all on WhatsApp over there, so talking to them. And then the KBO is announced to be potentially going on ESPN. There's some negotiations, and they'd announce it for opening day. And then I'm like, well, this could probably blow up. Once the NFL draft and once MJ's doc, The Last Dance, finish up, I'm thinking people are going to need some sort of live sports content more so. I mean, because a lot of sports show had, the NFL draft, The Last Dance, all that to talk about. Now that that's over, I was thinking a lot of attention is going to be turned to the KBO. So I'm thinking let's hop on that bandwagon ASAP. And then I start connecting with a couple of KBO guys, Dan Straley, Jake Brigham, a couple of guys. And then next thing I know, I got 12 different guys I interview in my interview series. So it was pretty crazy. 12 different players, 7 in the CPBL.
Yeah, sure, man. I'll talk to you.
5 KBO guys. So because they're just hanging out over there, playing baseball and basically in their rooms in a foreign country. So talking to me, which was really fun, put that together. And then I kind of just parlayed that to a kind of internship job with RotoWire now. So I'm producing and hosting their daily KBO show. It's kind of started just kind of as a kind of preview box score, kind of recap of what's going on in the KBO each and every day. And now we've kind of shifted it more towards a gambling side, kind of picks. That's what the RotoWire audience wants, the picks, the daily fantasy sports guys who should I have in my lineup. So now it's kind of oriented on that. So you kind of just watch that from 3 to 5 minutes and you kind of know the picks you want to make, why you should make them, who's doing well, Preston Tucker, Jose Fernandez, those guys. And you get a little player update, little league standings, and it's pretty quick. So that's what I've been doing now. Jose Miguel Fernandez, former LA Angel, Anaheim Angel, was with the Dodgers for a little bit. And now he's over there and absolutely mashing now.
Wow.
It's insane.
That is insane because when I think Jose Fernandez, I think of the guy, one of the best pitchers that never got to show exactly what he was, wow, man, what a tragedy that was. But, man, Sam, that is awesome, man. I mean, so what is your take after talking to the KBO players, after talking to some of the American players, a good amount of them, in fact, what is your take on their take there? Are they enjoying it? What's life like for them out there? What can you gather from that?
I think the biggest thing I'd say is that they miss Chipotle. A lot of guys have said they love Latin American food, which I'm sure you understand having the original stuff. They said that has not made it overseas, so they are missing some Chipotle burritos and tacos. But otherwise, it's been pretty fine. They a couple of them have been there for a while, so they've taken the culture before the quarantine was put in place, and basically just a lot on Netflix and playing baseball. They wanted to get back to the regular season as soon as possible, but basically just a lot of Netflix and baseball. There's not really a lot going on right now. They said normal life is basically the same. Basically, they can
Really?
go out when they want.
Okay.
But overall, it's just baseball and Netflix, really.
Excellent. Excellent. Baseball, Netflix, dude. Okay. All right. Life could be worse. Life could be a lot worse. Baseball, Netflix, not bad. Not bad. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So right on, man. Right on. Well, dude, that's fantastic. So you're enjoying it, man. Getting into Korean baseball, man. Coming off the Giants beat, right? Coming off the Warriors, KXSF. Okay, going down to spring training, getting your first credential. Okay, just going backward a little bit to bring everyone up to speed. Now you're doing KBO here. University of Penn coming up, man. UPenn. University of Penn. That sounds like an old guy saying that sounds like, oh yeah, I'm on the Twitter.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But anyways, man, I'm going to throw a couple questions at you, dude, because I'm interested. As I know you for a while, right? I got a chance to coach you, man. I got a chance to, I guess, mentor you a little bit in the radio station. Okay, I don't really consider it that. I saw talent and I saw willingness, and what you've heard, folks. What Sam has been talking about this whole time is his ingenuity, man, going for it, talking to people on Twitter, reaching out. And that's what he's been doing from day one, man. And he's honing his skills. He enjoys it, man. And I applaud you for that, man. I mean, I really like pushing the envelope a little bit and saying, why not, go. Mm-hmm. You don't have to go the ladder, the so-called ladder, and just go for it and look what you're up to, man. So this is what I want to know now. Okay. I know you grew up in the San Francisco area. Okay. Or in San Francisco more.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. Who's your favorite player of all time to watch?
Ooh, all time to watch. Ooh, well, I mean, being a younger guy, I think it's hard for me to really go, anything beyond basically 2015, really, when I get him. So I would say it'd probably be maybe a little recency bias here. Kevin Pillar, Giants. I think he just, every time he was up at the plate, he'd hit the ball hard. He didn't walk. He was swinging out there. And, defensively, Superman always making a play. So that was super fun to watch, especially, firsthand close up, 60, 70 games out there. Man in the grass. That's been super fun. So I think I'd say Kevin Pillar a little earlier. Josh Donaldson, maybe. I think he's been probably my first favorite player. A's before then the heartbreak where they traded him to Toronto for bag of pencils and nothing. So yeah, that Donaldson and Cespedes trade. Those separate ones were very hurtful as an A's fan. So now I've kind of switched over, and Kevin Pillar. Probably favorite player all time.
I want to talk about that because that brings up something for me. All right. Out of all the players, you said, okay, 215. I'm thinking, okay, man, maybe he'll go a star. Maybe he'll go some kind of role player. But you went Pillar, dude. Okay. And only 1 year with the Giants, right?
Mm-hmm.
1 year. Okay?
Less than
a year. Correct. Right. Not a full year. So, but it's the way he plays, I think, is what you described. All out all the time, doesn't walk much. And when people ask me that question, dude, I give a crazy answer, not a crazy answer, but an answer myself that the all-time favorite of all time was Ricky Henderson watching live. Okay. He changed the game, dude. I mean, I can't even describe when he got walked, the roar of the crowd, knowing that he was taking second, dude. And there's nothing anybody could do about it. Nothing. And he just strut down the first, Mm-hmm. It was cool. But there was another guy on the A's, man, that is kind of like a Kevin Pillar. And that was Dwayne Murphy. He was a center fielder. Might want to look him up, check him out. But he swung so hard every time. I loved his effort. He would swing so hard that his helmet would come off, dude, swinging at the ball. And he wasn't the best hitter. He was an excellent player, but he was a Gold Glove center fielder, hustled every play. I never saw him take a play off. And I cut school a bunch to go watch the A's at the Coliseum, dude. All right. I'm all day game. See ya.
Nice.
So, Dwayne, that's very cool, man. That you have that guy, Kevin Pillar, man. It doesn't surprise me because I know your personality a little bit. I just thought it'd be interesting to ask that question, man.
Oh, for sure. I think definitely the style guy. You go with them. The guys with the biggest Twitter presence as well. That's always a fun thing because baseball is great, but the guys that bring the style to it, that's even more fun. So you got to go with Pillar.
Most definitely. Speaking of Twitter presence, social media presence, man, who out there in the sports landscape right now is catching catching your eye, dude, in social media? Who's fun on social media? Who's cool to interact with, man? Who do you like to talk to, and who do you get some things out of from?
Well, a new recent one that came out just today, Eli Manning. He just joined social media. Older guy, Tom Brady tweeted about him. You don't quite get to interact with him, but that is just in the Twitter sphere coming out some news there. But overall, like interaction, the Miami Marlins, their team account is actually pretty fun. They'll normally reply same with a "What's up, Miami," and they'll be like, baseball, thinking about baseball, and a little tweet, a little GIF.
So they're cool. They're cool.
They're pretty fun.
Yeah.
A specific player though, I know Trevor Bauer. He actually interacts a lot.
Yes,
but I'd probably have to go with Richard Sherman. He actually responded to a KXSF Sports tweet back when he was debating about his salary and kind of being his own agent. So that was pretty cool to get a response from him. He retweeted one of them. I didn't really picked up because he was doing so many of them. But I think Richard Sherman and Trevor Bauer are probably the two in terms of baseball and football that are really doing a lot out there.
Excellent. Very nice, man. All right, man. That's cool. Yeah, I know Trevor Bauer, man. He gets in some Twitter wars, man.
Sure does.
It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty interesting because, I think baseball needs more engagement, obviously, than what they're getting from everyone. I mean, what do you were on the beat for a little, Giants the last couple of years, man. How do you feel MLB is handling this? And do you think that it's good the way they're going about it right now? Or do you want to see games come faster? Or do you want them to be a little bit more, come on, man, we got to figure this out first?
We don't have time to get into the whole thing there. There's just so many layers, so much potential they have right now that it's just being underutilized, I think. I mean, the biggest thing is the social media, just kind of that lack of presence. I mean, the physical connection that you have baseball specifically, you have so many stars, even on each team, and that's being underutilized. Each player should be out there signing autographs, responding to tweets before and after the game, live Q&A sessions on Periscope or YouTube like we're doing now. Right. It's so easy for them to be doing that, but they don't do it. And that's the biggest thing that hurts, where it's like, you really could be building such a giant fan base if you just had a little bit more connectiveness, but instead it's, trying to do these weird rules, and then you have longer nets, in front of the dugouts where you can't get autographs now.
So that is a terrible.
That's a whole nother subject. But being up close and personal, seeing guys be like, nope, I got to go to my team meeting, even though it's a pitcher that's not going to be starting or most likely not relieving today, turning down a young fan who's there like, please, I want your autograph. That's where it's like,
it's hard to watch.
Something's wrong here. Yeah.
It's hard to watch. It is. And I think sometimes, and I think we're realizing this with everything going on, man, that we need to slow down a little bit and think about what is important, man. And I think baseball really needs to do that, man. I'm being biased there because I love the game, but I'm going to tell you right now, man, they need to take the time out for the young fans, dude. Mm-hmm. They need to, that team meeting isn't that important. Let's not get so darn busy all the time. Okay. All these things. And, that, man, and you've had to slow down now, right? Your life. And now you're like, hey, man, I want to do this and this and this and prioritize things. And I think MLB is missing out on so many things, Sam.
I think just like with batting practice, too, it's like the guy's not going to figure out how to swing just because he gets 10 less pitches on batting practice. He can go sign and, take a couple photos. It's like, especially if that happens across the board, you're going to see it's all going to be equal. And it's not just one guy, I'm going to be behind. It's like, if you do that for everyone, it's all going to be the same. Yes. And even if the quality drops, even though I didn't get as warmed up today or as many hacks as I would have liked, you're probably going to get more engagement, though, because the fans now actually care. Like, oh, it's so cool. I got Longoria's autograph, even if he's grounding out. I know who he is. It's so cool. Yeah, and, I can ask him a question after the game.
And so you can identify with him. And
that's what I've seen from the first-hand experience, that kind of connection that needs to be built, which it's not doing right now.
It is not doing. And you need that connection. It's important. It's important. And, when I was going to games, man, early, skipping school to go, batting practice was right before they let you in during batting practice. So you'd watch.
Doesn't happen anymore.
And I just go, that's a terrible scheduling mess up. I think it might be convenient for the grounds crew, but it's terrible for fan engagement. They should let everybody watch batting practice. But, hey, if I was commissioner, let me tell you, there'd be a lot of great things going on, man, and there'd be a lot more engagement. I'd let guys like yourself, I'd say, hey, you do what you want on social media, man. Go for it. You got the pulse. I go for it, man. I like, it's you got to understand, man. Baseball to me seems like what's happening in the country now. It's a bunch of older guys running it, and guess what, man? They're out of touch, dude. They're out of touch. And to bring someone younger in, the younger generation in, is what it's needed. Man. Fantastic. Wow. Hey, Sam, man, did you have any questions for me, man? We're gonna wrap this up here pretty soon, man. But this is like inning 1 of a 9-inning game that me and you could do, no doubt about it, man. But I want to look at the time a little bit, man, and just go, hey, I know the attention spans these days, mine included. Okay. So do you have any questions for me, man? Or what is something maybe you want to ask Chooch, man?
Well, you kind of answered it a little bit earlier, but I was going to say, have you been watching any Korean baseball? How's that been? Have you been tuning in 1 a.m., 2 a.m. to catch some LG Twins action?
Not 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., dude. No, I have not been doing that. I did catch one yesterday that was on, and I don't know, it was on in the afternoon or 5 o'clock.
The rebroadcast.
It was rebroadcast. Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of that, and I like it because they put the ball in play more.
Yes, that's the biggest thing.
I dig that. I love that they put the ball in play more. And their fundamentals are pretty good. They're not major league level. Let's be serious. They're not. But I think the fundamentals are good. I have seen a lot of guys, and this is, in their, in the KBO and the Japanese league, and I haven't really checked out the China
CPBL, yeah.
But the left-handed hitters, man, they seem to like walk away from the ball when they're swinging. Like Ichiro used to
slap hit, yeah.
They slap, but no one could beat Ichiro. Ichiro could be Ichiro. But I don't really care for that. It's kind of, it's different, but they do put the ball in play. And I love that. Because
that's great. You get the leg kicks. Have you seen the leg kicks and the bat flips?
The leg kicks on the bat flips, dude, are entertaining. Yes. Now, me as a former pitcher, no.
Yeah. That's the way of the future.
Yes, but you know what? Now, okay, that's all right. So I encourage that because, like I said, I think it needs more engagement, and I will be watching it more. And especially, and because you have such a great show on it as well, man. It keeps me interested in Korean baseball, and I'll check out the LG Twins, the Dinos, and all the other teams.
Tune in every day. We got to get you 3 minutes. Get you need to know everything you need to do.
See, there you go. You got it down. 3 minutes, dude. I'm gonna do like a Chooch minute on here, but it's gonna be like 3 minutes. That's it. It's just
the plan.
3 minutes, and that's how you do it, man. So, hey, are you still doing your trivia, man? That trivia night, that sportscaster?
I am tonight. We're switching to once a week, so it's a big Saturday night show. Get everyone tuning in. So 6:30. You ready? You got your sports news, sports knowledge on ready?
And you know what? It's all here. And I'll try to get in the top 3 this time. We'll see what happens.
See. Oh, that's a big goal. That's a lofty goal.
You got some good players on there. So, all right, man. All right. Well, hey, man, you know what? I got to tell you, man, from the roots, man, and we're talking Little League baseball. We're talking high school baseball. We're talking KXSF. We're talking the Giants, from the Giants to the Warriors, from the Warriors to what you're doing now, man. Pasco's Perspective, Pasco Media, Pasco Sports, Korean Baseball, RotoWire, UPenn. Dude, that's a resume, my friend. Okay. And I, for one, am extremely proud of you. You know that. But I want to let you know that. But man, I see so many great things in your future as well, man. I'm excited to watch how your career and how your life progresses, man. All right.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me talk about myself a little bit here. Always great hopping on the stream.
Heck yeah, dude. And folks, I got to tell you, man, the only reason this is so easy for me is because the guy on the other side of the screen. All right, man, because he showed me how to get this going, man. And
I got you.
Easy is better for Chooch. Okay, easy is better for Chooch. So, hey, man, again, great talking with you, man. Glad I got some time to talk about you because I know you have to talk about everyone else for so long. I wanted people to get to know you, man, and I got to know some more things about you. And hey, man, let's get baseball back on the diamond, man, safely, and let's get baseball going again. Get sports, and we'll all get through this, of course, man. But hey. More power to you, what you're doing, man. I'm excited for you. And thanks for coming on Choochcast, dude. All right?
Of course. Thanks. Anytime.
All right, man. Sam Pasco, folks, knocking it out on Choochcast. Thanks Thanks for coming in live. Thanks for checking it out. Hey, well, who knows what the next guest is going to be. Look for a Chooch Minute, about 3 minutes of me rambling on and on here coming soon. It might become a favorite of yours. All right. Coming to you live from the home office in Magalia, California. You are listening to Choochcast, and we are out.